Good afternoon, everybody. This is going to be a quick live stream. It's just, I'm just going to put this thingy up so we know the date of it. So it kind of timestamps for my own personal records. Plus, I actually wrote this one down because there was so much information packed in it. And let me see, I got to get where I can see if see in the chat. There's even anybody in the chat because I always start late, and I know you guys expect me to start late, but I'm actually on time. So let's not kill the messenger, okay? All I can do is share what I've seen. I've been, I kind of blew my cover, when I was talking about that machine thing, and so I know you guys know that I see things. I mean, they call me a seer or whatever in that realm, and it's no big deal. We all have these things in us, and it's not a competition. We all, operate with different levels of awareness in each different modality of the spiritual giftings that we all have, and we all can achieve all of them. I mean, all of them to a certain degree or level through our choosing. So, okay. This is what I saw, and it goes through many scene changes, and that's why I wrote this one down and then took the time to unravel what exactly it was that I was seeing, so that way I can present it, and then you guys, you decide what it is that you think about it. I'm going to give you the interpretation that I was given, but ultimately you use discernment with everything. Always check inside. Go within, go within, go within, because that's where all the answers are. Okay, when I first woke up, I named this one, there's a war in the ether. Okay, there is a war in the ether, which would be considered like the spiritual realm. Many of us are feeling it here in the 3D realm. We're feeling it. I mean, you can sense it. You become more sensitive to what is going on around us, so you can feel it. You can feel the pressure. You already see the things that seem unjust or unfair or oppressive, and not only that, now you're sensing it like within you. You can feel it. So okay. In the dream at first, what I was shown was it was just a bunch of people, like everyday life is just continuing on, like everything seems completely normal to everybody, and everybody was eating. I mean, it was like, no matter who you were, awake, sleep, whatever, everybody was eating, and they were together, like business as usual. Okay. And then it was said when they were eating, it was calm, peaceful, just eating with each other. Then I was moved or seen, I was moved into that, like a war-like atmosphere, and how it was, how it appeared to me. It wasn't like guns and it wasn't bombs, or it wasn't stuff like that. That's not what I mean. I was moved into a realm where some were dressed, and this I think was for my benefit to discern who, I guess. Some of them looked like they were in like a military garb, but not what we would think of as military garb. It was very benign looking, military-ish type of clothing. Like you would know who the protectors were versus those that were still a little in confusion. Okay, I'll just put it that way for now. And the big fight in this realm against one another was food. There was a large population saying that the food is fake. And then there was the ones that were just in these clothes that you could tell they were different. And they were saying, no, this is the real food. So the ones that were pointing, saying, that's fake food, that's fake food. We'll get to that here in a minute. but then there was others, and wherever the nourishment was coming, and food has a meaning to it. I'll get to that here when we unravel, but where they were getting their nourishment, their growth, or was from the real place, but they were getting pointed at, scoffed at, and feeling this in the energetic level because they were being told that it's fake. Okay. Okay, so I moved to see the type of atmospheres, militant soldiers, and it was about food. Okay, I observed. So when I observe, I can take a position of, I can like rise above it and look and see what's going on. And then I'll jump in and I'll participate. So I was both. So I observed and participated. I felt very confused on what was being shown because I was like, we're fighting over food. And I had just got done seeing everybody eating together because it kind of went from one scene. And then, we move so fast. And in that realm, there's no concept of time. And we move so fast. It's like a thought, boom, boom, boom. So you have to be really observant. And it takes practice, you guys. I mean, I'm not going to kid you. I'm not going to pull your leg. It takes practice in this modality and to be able to observe and see and zoom in on the important parts of everything being shown. Okay, so I observed and participated. I felt very confused on what was being gone. Okay, fake food and real food was the conflict. Okay, I kind of already covered that. A person was dressed in military garb showed me that the fake food was made of only wood. Okay, so the actual fake food, the fake nourishment was wood. It was made of wood. And then he took me to a tree, and I was shown a tree, and it's not like it was a tree of good and evil, or like the tree of knowledge or the tree of life. It was not like that. He took me up to an everyday average tree. He says, "This is the fake food. This tree. It's made out of wood," and kind of emphasized that it's just wood. So I was like, okay, got it. It's wood like a tree. Yeah, okay, bark. Because I was questioning, what do you mean it's made of wood? Okay, and then the people were militant and fighting as if it was a war over food. It was like they were fighting over this food, like militantly fighting that their food was the real food and the other people were eating fake food. And it was militant. It was very disheartening to see some people tearing people down that weren't causing them any harm in such a manner. It was hard to watch. It was hard to participate, and it was hard to watch. Okay, and then I seen it was like a helicopters, and it was like airplanes, or something came flying from above, and they were dropping care packages with food. They were dropping from the sky, food. Okay, so I seen these packages drop from the sky. One side of the flight. Okay, they were doing food drops. Okay, the people wanted no part of this food. And then I put in brackets here, this was real food. And I was confused. I was confused on why they would want no part of the real food. It starts to make more sense here in a minute, because like I said, when I'm seeing this, I just see. I observe, I write it down. This one I wrote down for you guys. Okay. Okay, we were all in a warlike atmosphere. Again, I keep writing that over and over. I don't know why, because it seems so militant. These ones that were pointing out that this is fake food. They're not going to even eat what's dropped from, I don't know, the heavens. I don't know. I mean, that could be a parable or a riddle for many different scenarios. They wanted no part of it. They wanted to keep eating the wood, the food that was showed to me to be wood. Okay. Okay, this is how I'm sure it will sound strange. But this is how I was able to discern that this is a battle in the ether. Is the way I was able to discern that I was in the ether realm is because I was shown the 3D realm and everybody eating all the same food all together, no problem, going about their daily life. And then I went to a different realm, and in that realm, it was showing me just people just viciously attacking people about eating fake food. Okay. Uh, Next, I seen a battlefield. Okay, now I'm on a battlefield, and the people were. It was like the end of the day. People were laying down for the night, and I seen a couple of militant dressed people close to where I was about to lay down. Okay, each was covering with a blanket, and I felt like I gave my blanket away, or that I had lost my blanket, I'd gotten rid of my blanket. Um, for some reason, I didn't have one, but I did have my pillow. So, and my pillow, I was able to see that it was actually my physical pillow, which brought me some comfort to settle me down. I think to keep me there, to keep observing, because you got to understand that when we're in this realm, when we start to feel a little confused or like what the heck or too much is going on, we jump out because everything is done with, consent. So if I didn't want to continue on with what it was they were wanting to show me, I would jump out. So I was able to see that it was my pillow, and then I cuddled up to it, but I did not have a blanket. Okay. I cuddled up to my pillow and I went to sleep without any blanket. At that point, and I was also, okay, that's okay. At that point, when I was laying down, shot up to observer mode, and now I'm looking down, and the majority of the people were laying like their head facing the north, their feet facing the south, like, okay. And then I got concerned with the angle of the way I was laying. My head was more like my head was to the west and north, and my feet were to the east and south. I was at like an angle. I was at an angle. I wasn't laying like this. I was like this. I had no blanket, and so everybody had a blanket. They're all laying the same way, and I'm a different direction. So there was a lot of things that made me uncomfortable when I was watching it, that I wanted to, jump out and then say, oh, I'm out of here. Okay. I was at a different angle. Okay. So I pulled up to observer to get a better look and at what I was being shown. And at first I thought that, that people had blankets with it, but these blankets ended up looking like that. All of these people they all looked similar. And if you know what a quilt looks like, you know how they have the squares in them, they all have, different squares, different patterns. Everybody's blankets were quilts. They all had like these squares on them. So I was like, wow, that looks comfy, where's mine? Because I'm always questioning, well, I'd like to have one of those. Okay. Let's see, where was I? Okay, I could see that they were quilts, and they had each had the unique box, but in each of the boxes were logos, brands, and even beliefs. That's what was odd, because then I got a very close look at these quilts. They weren't those beautiful quilts that I was thinking when they were revealed that they looked like quilts. They were like things that people, I guess, were thinking was a good covering for them, and they were thinking they were covered by the quilt. So I'm kind of unraveling it as we go along here. And this is not to step on anybody's toes at all, at all. This is just to tell you, I've seen it, I'm sharing it. You do with the information what you will, discern everything. Take everything into yourself. Okay. My thoughts were that these were not blankets. These are coverings people are using to hide themselves. Okay. They're hiding under these different boxes of logos, brands, beliefs. Although I felt I needed a blanket, I found out the few I did see a few that without blankets, they had nothing to hide. So there was others. When I went to the observer mode, I was able to then see that there was other people, not just me without a blanket, not just me at this odd angle. There was others. You guys are out there. Okay. So next I found myself from that quilted blanket scene. I was in a very familiar city, which, as you can see behind me with the image that I put up, it's underwater city. I was underwater. Um, I was under the ocean in a city, but I didn't have any problem breathing or anything like that. I was just there, and I had a sense of, like, familiarity to it. Okay, it looked like a city that's now under the ocean. Okay, I became a participant. Now I went from observing and looking around the city. Now I'm a participant. I'm in, and I felt myself being pulled up from this area. My coloring was light, and it was an orangish, like an orangish light, encompassed me. But then I couldn't, from being by location, watching and being there, I couldn't see myself. All I could see was this radiant orange light that was around me, that was raising me up from this underwater city. Okay, and let's see, where was it? We're just like, okay. Another was there with a bright white light that outlined them, but that one didn't move. And what I found out later was what that was is a reflection from the light source, sun, whatever, off of something in the city. It was not another living being that was stuck there, by no means. It was a statue or something that was illuminated from sunlight reflection. Okay, this is the crazy part. And then this is what I heard. You have earned the right to rule and reign. And that's what shook me awake. I went, what the heck does that mean? Okay, now let me clarify with what I got from that. You've earned the right to rule and reign. The right to rule and reign, we think of it in a 3D way of being the right to rule and reign over another person. But really, what if in truth it's the right to rule and reign over self? I was also told that, let's see, I think I wrote that down, that I'd been there before. After I woke immediately, I understood the right to rule and reign was over self. Okay, there's more to it, but let's leave it. So, some of it's personal, some of it is broad, some of it will help reassure some people that feel like it seems a little harder, a little more dense, a little thicker on us, a little heavier. Just know you're not alone. The militant group, even when I was laying down, would be another unique individual finding their way through this. That would be, laying on the angle with no blanket. But there's some that are tromping around on guard over others while some rest. And then there's some that are on guard over others while they rest. So we're all taking care of each other. In the meantime, airdrops are being dropped for anybody who chooses to partake and get the nourishment and stem up. And it is pretty militant because the attacks can be we can feel them, because as the consciousness expands, our awareness expands. A lot of people call it empathy, or clairsentience, clairaudio, clairvoyance, seers, prophets, dreams, visions. All of these different gifts are opening up. And as they open up, we become more sensitive to the ether realm, to the spiritual realm, to the unlimited realms that are, those doors are opening up. Just know this from what was given to me, is that it to me was an assurance by seeing, when I got to look from that realm, that there was others. We're not alone in this, you guys. There's support coming from above. There's ground support. There's us. We're in this together. And, your comments are welcome. I'm going to keep this one really super short because I don't kill the messenger, you guys. All I do is I see it. This one I wrote down, and I'm sharing it. And I'm going to start doing that a little more often because the cat's out of the bag. But just know this, though, and, even though I'll share this kind of stuff, know that this is in you. There's nothing that anyone can do that all of us can't do. All of us are available to do all things at any time. So that's all I want. Did you guys, before I bounce out, anybody have any questions about any part of that dream, the fake food, real food? I mean, food in this, the way that it was displayed to me seems to me like spiritual nourishment. Where are we being fed from? Are we eating from, are we eating the real stuff, or are we eating, wood, particle board, or, I mean, it really has nothing to do with the food we put in our mouth. It has to do with spiritual health, or raising our, awareness, consciousness, and going into the new phase of mankind. Okay, you're just saying hi to each other. Okay, that's cool. Hi, Poor Dirt Farmer, Did GBK, Rod R. Glad you guys made it, Angelfish. And I'm going to bounce out because that's all I wanted to share. I did talk to John. He's thinking about tomorrow. I'm going to be taking the recertification class for the Notary Public. So, my schedule might get a little hinkier, but I'm around, you guys. I'm around. And let's see, let me pull this thing up. I just, I love you all so much, and just please know that you're not alone. You're not alone. We're in this together. Together we'll stand. We'll make it through it. So, have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening. Peace.